Something happened on Ethan's 17th birthday that slowly changed the direction of his life. Over the next year, he lost his focus, his motivation, and the things he once loved. But what happened next taught him a lesson that millions of people still haven't learned. This is Ethan's story. I met Ethan on a basketball court, the kind of teenager everyone admired. Good grades, good friends, good at sports, focused, present, confident. Every afternoon, he'd be out here playing basketball instead of staring at a screen. He loved being outside. Nature, weekend adventures, real conversations, real experiences. He wasn't perfect, but he was present. The same kid who could spend hours practicing basketball and still have energy left to laugh with his friends afterward. The same kid whose coach trusted him, whose teachers respected him, whose future looked bright. But when I saw him a year later, something felt different. The focus was gone. The confidence was fading. And the scary part? He couldn't explain why. It all started on his birthday. During his birthday party, one of his friends asked, "Wait, you're not on social media?" Everyone looked surprised. Ethan laughed. "Not really." His friend said, "Bro, seriously? You're missing out. Just try it." Ethan shrugged. "I don't know." His friend laughed. "Come on, it's just one app." Everyone agreed. It seemed harmless. Just one account, just one app. No big deal. So Ethan downloaded it. And that's how it started. Not with addiction, not with obsession. Just one app. And he had no idea that one small decision would slowly begin changing his life. At first, it was harmless. 30 minutes a day, then an hour, then a few hours, then every free moment, while eating, while studying, before sleeping, after waking up. And that's when something interesting happened. Ethan stopped using social media. Social media started using Ethan. Here's what most people don't understand. Social media isn't designed around information. It's designed around attention. Every notification carries a possibility. A new like, a new comment, a new follower. Your brain doesn't know what's coming, and that's exactly why it keeps checking. Psychologists call this a variable reward system. It's the same principle that makes slot machines addictive. Not knowing when the reward will come makes you keep pulling the lever, or in this case, refreshing the screen. But let's clear up one big misunderstanding. Dopamine isn't bad. In fact, you need dopamine. Dopamine is a brain chemical connected to motivation, curiosity, learning, progress. It's what pushes you to get out of bed, chase goals, learn new skills, build a better life. The problem isn't dopamine. The problem is where you're getting it from. Social media delivers dopamine instantly. No effort, no patience, no real investment. Just scroll, reward. Scroll, reward. But healthy dopamine works differently. Healthy dopamine comes from real life, finishing a workout, learning something difficult, playing sports, building a skill, spending time with people you care about, accomplishing something that required effort. One type of dopamine keeps you entertained. The other helps you grow. And Ethan didn't know the difference. Slowly, Ethan started changing. He stayed up later, slept worse, felt tired during the day. One night, his mom walked past his room. "Ethan, it's almost 2 a.m. Don't you have practice tomorrow?" Ethan replied, "Just 5 more minutes." 5 minutes became an hour. Then another. Then another. His grades started slipping. His coach started noticing he wasn't focused anymore. Sports felt harder. Conversations felt boring. Even hanging out with friends wasn't enough anymore. Real life started feeling slower than his phone. His phone was now deciding when he felt excited, when he felt disappointed, and sometimes how he felt about himself. And when your brain gets used to constant stimulation, normal life begins to feel dull. But the worst part wasn't his grades, it wasn't sports, it wasn't sleep. It was how he started seeing himself. Every scroll showed someone richer, smarter, better looking, more successful, more popular. Nobody posts their confusion, their failures, their lonely moments. Ethan was comparing his real life to everyone else's highlight reel. Eventually, the boy who once felt confident started feeling behind, inferior, not enough. The comparison never stopped, because on social media, someone will always appear to be winning. One day, I asked Ethan, "When was the last time you watched a sunset without checking your phone?" Ethan paused. "I don't remember." I asked, "When was the last time you played basketball just because you loved it?" Silence. Then he said, "Honestly, I don't know." I asked again, "When was the last time you spent an entire afternoon with your friends without looking at a screen?" Again, silence. That's when it hit him. He wasn't losing time. He was losing attention. And attention is life. So what did Ethan do? He didn't throw away his phone. He didn't move to a mountain. He built discipline, because discipline is what protects freedom. The first week wasn't easy. Ethan said, "Everything feels boring." I smiled. That's the point. Your brain is learning how to enjoy normal life again. For months, his brain had been trained to expect constant stimulation, constant scrolling, constant novelty, constant rewards. But real life doesn't work that way. Real life asks for patience, effort, presence. So Ethan stopped chasing instant dopamine and started rebuilding earned dopamine. The kind that comes from doing something meaningful, finishing a workout, learning a skill, playing basketball, spending time in nature, having a real conversation. Instant dopamine feels good for a moment. Earned dopamine builds a life. That's because the best sources of dopamine were never meant to live inside a screen. They were meant to come from life itself, from movement, progress, friendship, purpose, adventure, achievement, the feeling after finishing a difficult workout, the satisfaction of improving at a sport, the pride of completing a project, the joy of sharing a genuine laugh with a friend. These rewards arrive slower, but they last longer. And unlike endless scrolling, they leave you feeling fulfilled instead of empty. And slowly, Ethan started feeling alive again. Something else happened too. Ethan stopped running from boredom. At first, silence felt uncomfortable. No notifications, no endless scrolling, no constant entertainment. Just his own thoughts. But boredom wasn't the enemy. It was the doorway. The doorway back to focus, back to creativity, back to attention, back to himself. Most people never discover what's on the other side of boredom, because the moment boredom appears, they escape. They reach for a screen, a notification, a distraction. Then Ethan realized something important. Social media had slowly become the center of his life. But life was never meant to revolve around a screen. Life has dimensions. Your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, your relationships, your education, your goals, your hobbies, your future. Every dimension needs attention, because each dimension gives your brain something valuable. Physical activity gives energy. Learning gives growth. Relationships give connection. Nature gives calm. Hobbies give meaning. And together, they create a healthier source of dopamine than any app ever could. Because when one dimension consumes everything else, balance disappears. Ethan started exercising again, because a body that never moves slowly weakens. Even iron rusts when it sits still. He made a simple to-do list each night for the next day, not to become obsessed with productivity, but to reduce mental chaos. He practiced breathing exercises, giving his nervous system a chance to slow down. He spent more time with real people, not followers. People, friends, family, nature, animals, hobbies, real experiences. Because likes can create engagement, but they can't create connection. And here's the important part. Social media isn't evil. Phones aren't evil. Technology isn't evil. The goal isn't to quit everything. The goal is balance. Entertainment is one dimension of life, not your entire life. Your body matters. Your mind matters. Your relationships matter. Your education matters. Your future matters. Every dimension of your life deserves attention, not just the one glowing in your hand. A few months later, I met Ethan on that same basketball court, the same court where this story began. I asked, "So, did the dopamine detox fix everything?" Ethan laughed. "No. But for the first time in a long time, I feel like I'm living my life again." And that's the point. A dopamine detox isn't about removing dopamine. It's about reclaiming your attention. Because attention is your life. And whatever gets your attention gets your future. The goal was never to quit technology. The goal was to stop letting technology decide who you become. Social media is just one part of life. Entertainment is just one dimension of life. Don't let it replace all the others. Because the richest life isn't the most stimulated one. It's the most balanced one. The one where your body grows, your mind grows, your relationships grow, and your future grows with them. And the moment you stop letting a screen decide where your attention goes, you start deciding where your life goes. And that's where everything changed. Remember, your attention is one of the most valuable things you own. Spend it wisely. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves. Much love.